Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all of you. So for this video lecture, I will explain to you about marketing and advertising in e-commerce, which cover the first two learning objective. Okay, the first one is describe the factors that influence consumer behavior online, and then the next one is to understand the decision making process of consumer purchasing online. So for decades, market researchers have tried to understand consumer behavior and have summarized their findings in various models. So the purpose of a consumer behavior model is to help vendor understand how a consumer makes a purchasing decision. So if a firm understands the decision process, it may be able to influence the buyer's decision. For example, through advertising or special promotion. Okay. So before examining the consumer behaviors model variable, so let us describe who are the e-commerce consumers. Okay. So e-commerce consumers are online consumers that actually can be divided into two types: individual consumers who get much of the media attention, and organizational buyers who do most of the actual shopping in the cyberspace in term of volume of sale, ringgit volume of sale. So organizational buyers include government, private corporation, resellers, and public organization as well. Purchased by organizational buyers are generally used to add value to their material or products. Also, organizational buyers may purchase product for resale without any further modification. Okay. So the purpose of a consumer behavior model that we will discuss today is for individual. Okay. So this model is to show factors that affect the consumer behavior. Okay, so the major influential factors for the individual consumer behavior is personal characteristics of the customer, product or service factors, merchant and intermediary factors, and then the e-commerce system itself, and also the environmental factors. So the influential factors here actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So there are 5 dimensions that are considered to affect the consumer behavior. So the last two, the e-commerce system. The e-commerce system and the product or service factors, okay, usually mostly controlled by the seller, the seller itself, how it can provide good e-commerce system and how it can provide good product or service. So usually the consumer decision process usually start with a positive attitude and end with the buyer's decision to purchase or repurchase the product. Okay. If you look here, a favorable attitude would lead to a stronger buying intention, which in turn would result in the actual buying behavior. Okay. So previous research has shown that the linkage among these three constructs are very strong, and toward the end it will lead to the loyalty or repurchase of the product. Okay, so other factors here under the consumer characteristic, environmental characteristic, merchant and intermediary characteristic, product service characteristic, e-commerce system itself. You can read by yourself first, okay? And you need to refer to the e-books in order for you to answer the questions for the discussion in the forum. Okay, so that's all for our class today, and hopefully you can answer the question, and please make sure every one of you come up with different product, okay, to illustrate how the online buyer, what are the factors that influence them to buy online, and how the stores can make sure that the customer will buy from their store. Okay, thank you. See you in the next class. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Okay, so for this online video lecture, I want to continue with you on chapter 7 on telecommunication, the internet and wireless technology. Okay, let's look again at the student learning objective that we have covered. So actually we have covered what are the principal components of telecommunication networks and key networking technologies, and then what are the main telecommunication transmission media and types of networks, and how do the internet and internet technology work, and how do they support communication and e-business. And today we'll look what are the principal technologies and standard for wireless networking, communication and internet access. And lastly, why are radio frequency identification or RFID and wireless sensor networks available for business. Okay, so let us continue to the page that we have stopped at our previous class. Okay, the internet services. Okay, so the internet is based on client server technology. If you can still remember, I mentioned to you that the internet is the biggest client server technology because it connects many net. Okay, and in other words, it have many clients and server infrastructure there. Okay, so individuals that use the internet control what they do through client application on their computers, such as web browser and software. Okay, remember the dawn of net video that I have shown to you, and then the data including email messages and web pages are stored on servers, and a client use the internet to request information from a particular web server on a distant computer, and the server send the requested information back to the client over the internet. Can you still remember the OSI reference model? Okay, I believe that all of you can still remember the video. So it is all about, for example, the request come from computer A, and then computer A is the client, then the request sent through the network, the TCP/IP, and the computer B or the server process the request, and if everything is okay, it will send back to you the result. Okay, so now we want to look at the internet services. Okay, so a client computer connecting to the internet has access to a variety of services. So these services include email, chatting and instant messaging, news group, telnet, file transfer protocol or in short FTP, and also the World Wide Web. Okay, the www. Okay, and all this internet service is implemented by one or more software programs. Okay, and all of the services may run on a single server computer, or different services may be allocated to different machines. Okay, so with the recent introduction of new communication and information appliances such as smartphone, the PDA, mobile data network, so organizations have found it necessary to upgrade their network to incorporate all these new technologies or internet services. Okay, so we keep complaining about information overload, but we need more. Okay, or we crave more. So the internet provide access to data about any topic that you can imagine through software-based services by using all these internet services. So keep in mind that false information is as readily available as is true and correct information. So just be careful about the source of information that you access. Okay? For example, the information that spread over the WhatsApp, the chatting group, email, news group, you need to be careful with the reliability of the data sent. So the most useful features among these is email. Okay, the ability to attach file to a message and send them to our friends anywhere in the world. So this feature alone makes it a valuable tool for telecommunicators and for collaborating with others, with co-workers, wherever they may be. But unfortunately, the effectiveness of email as a viable communication tool is diminished by spam and junk email. Am I right? So the vast number of email messages sent are overwhelming some corporate email servers, for example like UUM, a lot of spam. So some business are now encouraging, for example, no email on Friday, because for example in Kedah, Friday is our holiday, so no email. Okay, so that's the way how they want to solve the problem. So companies also using chat and instant messaging as an alternative to email. Okay. News group also can be used. Do you know what is a news group? News group, you know. So everything is passed to the group. Okay, and then the telnet. Do you know what is telnet? Okay, news group is like the bulletin board discussion group. Okay, for example, if I create you a group and then you discuss there, so it will become a news group. And telnet is I don't think you have experience using telnet, but during my time, yes, maybe because I am an IT student, so you can log to one computer system and doing work on another. Okay, for example, you can share. For example, maybe in a lab you want to help your friend, or you want to you don't have to go to his or her place. You can telnet to his or her computer and you can amend her or his file. Okay, that one is the telnet function. And then file transfer protocol, FTP, you can transfer file from computer to computer. Okay, so just now you try to amend the your friend's file, but you also can transfer your file through this internet service. And lastly, the www, the most used one. You can retrieve, format, display information, including text, audio, graphics, and video by using the hypertext links. For example, www.uum.edu.my. Okay, so whatever internet services that the company want to use, they need to, that is good because there are many internet services available, but the organization need to remember that they need to set some corporate policy regarding employee to use all these internet services in their office. Okay, so these are the internet services. Okay, next is VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol. So the internet has also become a popular platform for voice transmission and corporate networking. So voice over internet protocol technology delivers voice information in digital form by using packet switching, avoiding the toll charged by local and long distance telephone networks. Okay, so call that would ordinarily be transmitted over public telephone networks travel over the corporate network based on the internet protocol or the public internet. So voice call can be made and received with a computer that was equipped with a microphone and speakers, or with a VoIP enabled telephone. Okay, so meaning that I want to Skype with you. So my computer have the microphone and speaker. So the same thing goes to you. So we can have the voice over internet protocol. So you don't have to pay for bills. You just pay for the internet. So the VoIP technology actually threatens the traditional telephone companies. Okay, unless they adapt their business model to include this technology, because you make long distance telephone calls free from PC to PC, or for a much reduced price, PC to regular phone, by using this technology. Okay, next is unified communication. So unified communication, what is unified communication? In the past, each of the firm's network for wired and wireless data, voice communications and video conferencing operated independently of each other and had to be managed separately by the information system department. But now, firms are able to merge these two communication modes into single universally accessible service that is called as unified communication technology. So unified communication integrate different channel for voice communication, data communication, instant messaging, email, and electronic conferencing into one single experience where users can switch back and forth between different communication modes. So present technology shows whether a person is available to receive a call. So companies will need to examine how workflows and business processes will be altered by this technology in order to gauge its value. So you use email, then you switch to the telephone, then you move to electronic conferencing, on to instant messaging. So each of these has a separate channel and separate platform. Okay, so if you wish, you want to merge them all into one, it is called as unified communication package that actually can save yourself time, aggravation, and headache actually. Okay, so now you can, thanks to a single universally accessible service that lets you switch back and forth between all these method of communicating with others. Okay, and then next is virtual private network, or VPN. So companies all over the world are building virtual private network to help reduce costs and make it easier for customers, suppliers, and employees to communicate. Okay, so the internet technology offers organizations a much cheaper alternative to the high cost of building and maintaining their own technology or using other technologies that are not built on the open standard of the internet. So VPN or virtual private network offer companies an extra layer of security protection through the tunneling process because of the wrapping effect not offered with generic transmission. Meaning that if the company use the virtual private networks, all the message will be wrapped. You know, like you want to send letter to your friend. So if you use this VPN, this VPN will put your letter in an envelope. Okay, so actually when it keep it in an envelope, meaning that it is secure. Okay, so let's look at the next slide. Okay, this slide show the client server computing on the internet, because before this we discussed about the client server computing on the internet. Okay, so we have many internet services here. If you can see, this is the client. Okay, so connect to the internet, and we have several server here, and all these server are specially dedicated for certain tasks. For example, application, database. Okay, so for example, like this server have several internet services like the web, the SMTP, the DNS utility, FTP. Okay, in other words, client computers running web browser and other software can access an array of services on servers over the internet. So these services may all run on a single server or multiple specialized server. Easy, okay? So as a client, usually you will use the web browser. For example, in the last class, when you want to request for a video, you will use the web browser. For example, maybe you can Google and then you just type download the net, and all the requests will directly sent to the another computer or server in the related organization who provide the video. Okay, this is the figure to illustrate how voice over IP works. Okay, so a VoIP phone call digitizes and break up a voice message into data packet that may travel along different routes before being reassembled at the final destination. And remember, VoIP use the packet switching, same like the internet. And then a processor nearest the call destination called a gateway. Okay, this is the gateway. And then arrange the packet in the proper order and directs them to the telephone number of the receiver or the IP address of the receiving computer. Okay, so what you need to have the speaker and also microphone in order to enable the both parties can communicate through the VoIP. Okay, the virtual private network, the last one, the VPN. This is the tunnel that I'm talking about just now. Okay, this is the private network of computers linked using a secure tunnel connection over the internet. So this tunnel can protect data transmitted over the public internet by encoding the data and wrapping them within the IP. So by adding a wrapper around a network message, it can hide the content, and organization can create a private connection that travel through the public internet. Okay, so this VPN help much in security of the company's data. Okay, next section is about the web. So, the web. Actually, in 1989, 1990s like that, okay? There's a scientist named Tim Berners-Lee, he created a software program to help him keep track of his personal information actually. And he eventually offered the software to other users and called it the www that we use today. Okay. And then 2 years later, in 1991, the commercial use of internet was permitted for the first time. And that's when its use started to explode, in 1991. Okay. And in 1993, Netscape actually is developed by Mark Andreessen and Jim Clark, his friend, to market a new software application for the web called a browser. So this graphical user interface allowed users to maneuver around website using a point and click method. The first one introduced by the Tim Berners-Lee is not don't have the GUI or graphical user interface. Like the desktop that we have the icon, you just point and click, okay? But starting in 1991, we have the crawler. The crawler, its name, and it is the GUI. It is the GUI, graphical user interface. You can click on the icon and so on. Okay, so the www is a vast repository or database of data and information connected through hyperlink. So when you think about the fact that it didn't even exist 20 years ago, it's amazing to realize how much it has permitted everything we do in our personal and business life. Okay, so we discussed protocol before this, the rule by which data are transmitted over networks. So HTTP is what allows the web to operate. So when you see a URL, the Uniform Resource Locator address on the website, it will generally start with HTTP, www. so on and so on. So most software browser programs now automatically insert that for you. So you can simply enter the domain name of the website you want to access. For example, you don't have to type www.google.com, you just type google.com. Okay? So, and if you browse, for example, if you can see that some URL begins with HTTPS. It indicates that a site using secure socket layer that offer more secure transmission protocol than the plain HTTP. Okay, you have the HTTPS and HTTP. This is only the extra information for you. Okay, so website use the HTML hypertext markup language. Okay, so if you go to the website, please right click and you can view source and you can see how the HTML codes looks like. Okay, you can do it by yourself. And usually all websites are stored on web servers. Okay, so web servers scattered throughout the internet. Rather than a small business owning and maintaining their own web server computer, they can pair with web hosting service to maintain the site. Okay, so usually it's often cheaper and easier, and the small business doesn't have to worry about downtime, scalability issues or security, because everything is, you give to someone else to look at the web server. Okay, next section is searching for information on the web. Search engine. Just now we are talking about the website. The first commercial website has been introduced in 1991. Okay, so now is the search engine. Early 1990s also, So early 1990s engine used keyword index. So Google implemented page ranking. So some search engine use special software programs to monitor the web for new or updated sites or pages. Okay. So what to say? Search engines and directory use various methods to help you find information on the web. So you shouldn't restrict yourself to just one or two search engine. You can try many different ones and you will be surprised at the different result you will get using the same keyword search. Why? Because of the technique used by the search engine in order for them to find result for you. Okay? Mobile search, now 26% of all searches in 2011. Meaning that nowadays people use the mobile gadget. So they also use this search engine through their mobile gadget. That's why it is stated here in 2011, the statistic is about 26% of all searches come from the mobile search. And then next, search engine marketing. So what is search engine marketing? Major source of internet advertising revenue. So search engine have become major advertising platform and shopping tool by offering what is now called as search engine marketing. Searching for information is one of the web's most popular activities. Okay. So when user enter a search term at whatever browser, for example like Google or any other site serviced by this search engine, they receive two types of listing actually. Sponsored links, for which advertisers have paid to be listed, usually at the top of the search result page, and unsponsored organic search result. So in addition, advertisers can purchase small text box on the side of search result page. So the paid sponsored advertisement are the fastest growing form of internet advertising and are powerful new marketing tools that actually precisely match consumers' interest with advertising messages at the right moment. Okay? So search engine marketing monetize the value of the search process. Okay? Because the search engine marketing is so effective, it has the highest click-through rates and the highest return on advertisement investment, companies seek to optimize their website for search engine recognition. So the better optimized the page is, the higher a ranking it will achieve in search engine result listing. So the SEO, search engine optimization, is the process of improving the quality and volume of web traffic to the website by employing a series of techniques that help a website achieve a higher ranking with the major search engine when certain keyword and phrase are put into the search field. So one technique is to make sure that the keyword used in the website description match the keywords likely to be used as a search term by prospective customers. For example, your website is more likely to be among the first ranked by search engine if it uses the keyword lighting rather than lamp, lampu. If most prospective customers are searching for lighting. So it is also advantageous to link your website to as many other websites as possible, because search engine evaluate such link to determine the popularity of a web page and how it is linked to other content on the web. Okay? So Google will update algorithm to mitigate the link farming. Okay. So in order to see the popularity of the web page, the Google, for example, will update algorithm to have the link. However, there's a problem with the Google and some search engine. For example, enter search like what? Like if you look at the book Ultra Computer, and in 0.2 seconds you will receive over 300 million response. That's too much. Okay? So search engine are not very discriminating. So social search is an effort to provide fewer, more relevant and trustworthy search results based on a person network of social contacts. So in contrast to the top search engine that use a mathematical algorithm to find pages that satisfy your query, a social website would review your friends' recommendation and their friends, or their past web visit and their use of like button. That one is social search. So it is an effort to provide more relevant result. Okay. And then next, semantic search. What you need to know about semantic search? The goal is to include understanding of human language and behavior to deliver more relevant result. Okay. So this is another way for search engine to become more discriminating and helpful. It could understand what it is we are really looking for. Okay. So, for example, what's the example I want to give to you, okay? Let's assume you want to find the specification online of an Apple iPad. So you can compare it to an Amazon Kindle, okay? The same type of iPad. So you can search the term iPad specification in Google search engine, and yes, you will get 100 suggested sites to purchase the product rather than the specification themselves. So Google is working hard to fix that problem through its development of semantic search. So its goal is to build a search engine that understands human thought and phrases rather than just finding words in its database. Okay? So it's also working hard to improve its search engine result to return videos, pictures that may relevant to your search. Okay? And many search engine homepage have the shopping bot or intelligent agent shopping bot. Okay. So this shopping bot use intelligent agent software for searching internet for shopping information. In other way, they use artificial intelligence in this search engine. Okay. So it will gather information from many sources and combine it for ease in comparing price and availability of the product. So keep in mind that some of the price available through these kinds of site may not be the absolute the lowest you could find of your own. Okay, so some companies pay a service fee to the shopping bot site to have their product listed regardless of whether they are the lowest price. So as a buyer, we need to be aware, like what? If the the online ticket Airpass, if I'm not mistaken, and then like the TripAdvisor, okay. What is the site when we want to search hotel? We go to where? There's one website. They try to to centralize everything there, and you just can use their website to proceed with whatever site that you want. For example, you search for hotel where? Oh, I can't remember it. No, not the TripAdvisor. Is when you want to look at the rating. We have the popular one. I forgot. I will tell you later once I remember about it. But it is the intelligent agent shopping bot. So it advertised to us that they will make our life easier because everything is in their website, so you don't have to go to separate link to look for the hotel. Okay? But actually, sometimes they will give you not the lowest price. So as a buyer, you need to be very careful. Maybe you can go straight away to the hotel website and check the price by yourself before you decide to buy through these intelligent agent shopping bots provided by their website. Okay. So this is the top US web search engine in 2011, and as you can see here, Google is the most popular search engine on the web. Okay, about 83%. So how Google works? Okay, first one, enter query, and then Google Web Server received the request. Google used over 1 million PCs linked together and connected to the internet to handle the request. And then the request is sent to Google index servers that describe which page contain the keyword matching the query. And then after find the keyword that the customer put in the query, then they will use the PageRank software. You know, that's an equation, the algorithm. They want to look for the popularity of the web page, and then after that they will summarize the result to you. Okay, so before this, actually Google only used the index, you know, but what happened when they only use this index? Some of the, you know, the web developer of the companies, they try to put many in keyword there. For example, if you want to search for what? Computer. So they just put many computer in their website, and of course your website will be the first one to be listed, you know, in the search engine result. So that's why they want to make it more accurate. They use the PageRank software. So this is also count the popularity of the website. You know, for example, just now I mentioned to you that the website, if you connect or you link to another website, that means your website will become more popular, and of course it will be at the upper list of the search engine result. Okay, next is the Web 2. So making the web convenient, easy to use, and having it work for us is the idea behind the Web 2 services. This is the second generation services, enabling people to collaborate, share information, and create new services online. So these are the example. The blogs, I'm sure that all of you know what is blogs. Okay, so and perhaps you are the reader of blogs. Okay, and then it is in form of chronological, informal website created by individual. Okay, micro blogging. The example is like twitter.com. Okay, that this is the, you know, that's the limitation for you to send the information. No, for example, it is limit to 140 characters. And then next is the RSS. So you register your information needs with the RSS, the really simple syndication service. So when new information is available, you will automatically receive a notification on your desktop, similar to the, you know, the Facebook notification. You know, someone update the Facebook, okay, and then you get the message. Okay, so in technically definition, it syndicate web content, so aggregator software can pull content for use in another setting or viewing later. And next is wikis. So wikis are becoming a popular way to share information among employees, managers, suppliers, even customers. So for instance, your collaborative team is devising a new advertising campaign. So you have lots of inputs that previously was passed around the team via email, but you know, it doesn't give any of your team member a convenient method of searching for informations. Okay, so instead your team could use a wiki to post idea, information, or details of the latest version of your campaign in one consolidated location. So all your team members could post comment, edit comment. Okay, but you know, this is very easy and fast. So wikis are much easier to use than more sophisticated knowledge management system, and this software also cheaper. So that's why when everybody can modify the content on the site, you cannot rely on the wikis when you want to do the academic work. Okay, and then next is social networking sites. It enables users to build communities of friends and share informations. I believe all of us use this social networking site like Facebook every day. You know, it is, you know, a powerful tool. You know, a powerful tool for us to communicate. You know, not only in the organization but also in the outside there. So next is Web 3 and the future web. Okay, so can you still remember Tim Berners-Lee, the same individual who began the web in 1989? Now he involved in creating Web 3, also called the semantic web. Okay, so basically data and content on the web are currently stored in individual files that don't easily connect one to another. A Word file may be stored on a corporate database server, while a spreadsheet file about the same subject is stored on your laptop. So what if all that data were automatically connected? So when you try to find all the information you need about your company's latest marketing campaign, for example, the semantic web would do it for you. Okay, so it is a way to make web more intelligent and intuitive. Intuitive. Okay. So, Internet of Things. What is Internet of Things? Have you heard about Internet of Things before this? So, Internet of Things. Everything you do by using the Internet. That one is Internet for Things. Internet of Things, not for things. Okay? So, for example, you know, the web control everything from a city traffic light and water usage to the light in your living room to your car's, rear view mirror, not to mention managing your calendar and appointments. So all is controlled by the internet. This one is called as Internet of Things. So it includes the widespread use and distribution of sensor. It uses sensor. For example, you come into the DKG and everything is set to your, check your temperature and so on. Then they will try to come out with a most comfortable, weather for you to stay in the DKG. Okay. So firms like, the computer firm like IBM, HP, they try to explore how to build smart machines, smart factories, smart city by using this remote sensor and fast cloud computing. The trend is the cloud computing right now, yeah? Okay, so more widespread use of cloud computing and mobile computing also include in the Web 3 and the future web. Okay, next, the cellular system. So this is the wireless revolution. Okay. Much as we have seen a convergence in wired digital devices such as computer, television and telephone, we are seeing a widespread convergence in wireless technology and the services it offers as well. If content can be digitized, it can be transmitted over wireless networks. That includes voice, document, photograph, music, movies, television, and, many more. You just name it. Okay? So, what is cellular system? So, each, this cellular system is for the communication infrastructure. Okay, so every world region actually has adopted different standard for wireless network, and very often the standard don't allow for cross transmission. The two major standard is CDMA and the GSM. CDMA is code division multiple access. It transmits over several radio frequencies and randomly assign users to a range of frequencies over time. So this CDMA is used mostly in the US. And then GSM, okay, the global system for mobile communication. So bandwidth is based on time division. And rest of the world, rest of the world like, Europe, China, Asia, and some regions of the United States use this standard cellular service, the CDMA. So in Malaysia, we use the, not CDMA, the GSM. We use the GSM. Okay. So just as we have experienced generation of computer and computer language, the wireless phone system also have the generation. For example, the third generation 3G network. It appeared in the early 2000s and are based on packet switch technology that allow large amount of data transmission. It can support voice, video, graphic, and also wireless broadband internet access. And then the 4G. The 4G networks, just beginning in 2009 and 2010, it provides speed between 1 meg to 1 gig with premium quality and high security. Okay. And then in order for wireless network to work in tandem with one another, it is necessary to create standards such as we have with internet protocol and other network technologies such as Bluetooth. So Bluetooth can link up to 8 devices in 10-meter area by using low power radio-based communication. Okay. So it is very useful for personal networking. Okay, PANs. Okay, so it is more appropriate to use Bluetooth technology in battery-powered devices like our notebook, laptop. Okay, so Bluetooth technology is mostly used to connect keyboard, printer, computer, and other handheld device, all within very close range. Next is Wi-Fi. So every one of us know what is Wi-Fi actually, or you don't know. So we mentioned earlier that today's computing environment should be referred to as wireless. Okay, so actually the recent proliferation of wireless technology is technically known as 802.11 networking standard, but it's more commonly and easily called Wi-Fi. Okay. Wi-Fi stands for Wireless Fidelity. So Wi-Fi can be installed on your existing computers and you can connect them through a router hub via access point. So use access point with device with radio receiver transmitter for connecting wireless device to a wired LAN. Okay. So this access point is called as hotspot. Okay. But you should be aware of the dangers in using this hotspot. They lack strong security measures typical of wireless network, and you may experience interference problem as more users try to access the network. So this is the illustration of the Bluetooth network PAN. Okay, you can look by yourself. Have some time to look at this, the Wi-Fi. After the Wi-Fi, WiMAX. So unfortunately, there are still large reasons that must continue to rely on old telephone system for internet access. So that prevent users from taking advantage of new high-speed access and many of the feature-rich applications available on the internet. And because of this limitation associated with the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and other technology, many users are left out of the internet evolution. So a new technology called WiMAX 802.16 is being developed to help fill the gaps all across the country. So WiMAX can increase the range of transmission up to approximately 30 miles and increase the transmission speed significantly over that available on regular telephone lines and dial-up modems. So the keywords here, the coverage now is increase. Okay, compared to the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The next one is RFID, radio frequency identification. So this system are an excellent example of how wireless technology is remaking supply chain management system like in Walmart. If you can still remember, in chapter 1, we have discussed about Walmart. Akil, can you still remember? You explained to the class about Walmart. Okay. So RFID tags are small microchip that contain information about the product. So this technology hold a distinct advantage over the old barcodes, like the CMAT, because it doesn't require line of sight readers. Instead, the tags transmit data via radio frequencies to computing device that track the product. So everything is automated. Okay, it can automated toll collection, tracking goods in the supply chains, and the company who want to use the RFID need to have special hardware and software, and the reduction in cost of tags making RFID nowadays viable for many firms. This is the illustration how RFID works. You can look by yourself because I already explained it to you. And now WSN, the wireless sensor networks. This should be our last part of this chapter. Okay, so business use wireless sensor network to connect handheld device with data storage device and allow workers to roam through warehouse and also office building. So in the long run, this wireless sensor network will be cheaper for business and home because no structural changes will need to be made to the building wall, ceiling or floor. If you want to add equipment, you will simply add another node to the network. So you won't have to cut whole run wire or alter the physical structure at all. Okay? So business and organization generate so much data with all the new technologies now available. So they want to put the data good to use, improve operation and profit, but it's a lot of data, hence the name of big data. Okay, so wireless sensor network and other networks send their output over an Internet of Things for analysis, and any object that generates data can be the focus of the Internet of Things. Okay, so to wrap up this section, so I just want to conclude that the wireless technologies such as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi create small network that connect just about any kind of computing device. They are easier to configure and connect than wired technologies and allow users more flexibility and access. Whereas the wireless access points or hotspots are springing up in airport, hotel, coffee shop and rest stops all over the country and world, RFID technology is giving companies new opportunities and challenges for supply chain management. So that's all for this chapter. Okay, thank you. See you again in our next class. Okay.